What if I told you that there are men right now listening to this episode who will never break free from porn? And it's not because they can't. It's not because freedom isn't possible. It's because they've accepted an identity that will keep them stuck. You see, the truth is most men think porn addiction is about lust. It's not. Most men think it's about urges. It's not. Most men think they just need more discipline, more willpower, perhaps more motivation. But addiction survives through identity. And if a little man changes the way that he sees himself, he will continue repeating the same cycle over and over again. Because the truth is, every relapse starts with a belief, a justification, a story that we tell ourselves. Something a man tells himself to make staying stuck feel acceptable. And today I want to expose the 6 types of men who stay addicted to porn forever. What I'm going to share today are identities, the mindsets, the belief systems that quietly destroy men from the inside out. And until you recognize yourself in one of these today, you'll stay stuck. But if you do, good, because awareness is the first step towards transformation. Guys, welcome to the Rebuilt Man podcast. My name is Coach Frank Rich, host and founder here, and it's been our mission for the last 6 years to help men just like you, those caught up in the depths of pornography addiction, take back control, reclaim their identity, and rebuild their lives into freedom. And today we're walking through 6 identities of men who will stay stuck forever. Let's get into it. Identity number 1 is the man who minimizes it. The first man who stays addicted forever is the man that minimizes the problem. This is the guy that says, it's not that big of a deal. Everybody watches it. At least I'm not cheating. It could be worse. This man compares himself to culture instead of comparing himself to his potential. And that's a trap because culture is broken. Look around. Most men today are distracted. They're numb, weak, anxious, overstimulated, disconnected, emotionally lost. So why would you use broken men as your measuring stick? Just because something is common doesn't mean it's harmless. Obesity is common. Depression is common. Addiction is common. Loneliness is common. That doesn't make those things healthy. You see, weak men look for permission. Strong men look for standards. And the biggest lies that men tell themselves is, well, everybody does it. No, not everybody. And even if they did, why would you want to be like everybody else? The average man today is spiritually weak, physically soft, mentally distracted, emotionally unstable. The average man has no discipline. So if your goal is to become exceptional, you cannot think like average men. High performing don't ask, is this normal? They ask, does this make me better? Does this align with the man I want to become? Does this build discipline or destroy it? Because the moment a man minimizes porn, he removes urgency. And men only change when staying the same becomes painful. Now, the second type of man who stays addicted forever is the man waiting for a moment for a woman to fix him. This is the guy who says, I'll quit when I get married. I just need a girlfriend. I'm lonely. I wouldn't struggle if I had more sex. I want you to listen carefully. Marriage does not cure addiction. A relationship does not heal emptiness. And your wife, she will not be your rehab. In fact, there are countless married men deeply addicted to porn right now because porn was never just about sex. It's about escape, validation, comfort, stress relief, emotional regulation, and fantasy. And if you don't deal with those deeper issues before marriage, you bring them directly into your relationship. You bring the secrecy, the shame, the emotional disconnect, the dopamine addiction, the unrealistic expectations. You bring all of it with you. A lot of men think if I finally have consistent sex, I'll stop watching porn. No, you won't, because addiction always escalates. Porn trains your brain for novelty, for variety, for endless stimulation. And eventually, real intimacy starts feeling less exciting than artificial stimulation. That's why so many men become emotionally disconnected in relationships. That's why performance issues happen, desensitization happens, emotional numbness happens. And that's a hard truth. If you cannot lead yourself while you're alone, you won't suddenly become a stronger leader in marriage. The relationship doesn't heal the man has to heal first. And if you're waiting for a woman to save you, you're already putting burden on her that was never hers to carry. The third man that stays addicted forever is the man who blames everyone else. This is the guy that says, I watch porn because she withholds sex. My wife doesn't understand me. She's emotionally unavailable. She rejected me. She made me do this. No. Your pain may explain your behavior, but it does not excuse it. The moment blame enters the picture, accountability disappears. And accountability is the foundation of all transformation. Weak men react emotionally. Rebuilt men respond intentionally. See, a lot of men use porn as an emotional retaliation. They feel rejected, maybe unseen, hurt, or even resentful. Instead of communicating these things, instead of leading her, instead of having hard conversations, they escape. And the crazy part, porn only makes the relationship worse. It creates more emotional distance, more shame, more secrecy, more resentment, more disconnection. You cannot heal intimacy while secretly feeding an addiction. And masculine leadership requires emotional control, not emotional reaction. Stress does not justify self-destruction. Rejection does not justify self-destruction. Loneliness does not justify self-destruction. At some point, a man has to stop saying this happened because of her and start saying, no matter what happens around me, I'm responsible for the man I become. That's when transformation can begin. The fourth man who stays addicted forever is the man who uses porn as stress relief. This guy says, I need it to relax. It helps me decompress. It helps takes the edge off. My life is stressful. It's my escape. And right there, that's the real issue. You're not addicted to porn. You're addicted to relief. Porn becomes emotional anesthesia, a coping mechanism, a shortcut out of discomfort. And this is where men completely misunderstand addiction, because most addiction isn't driven by pleasure. It's driven by avoidance, stress, pressure, boredom, loneliness, anxiety, fear, even uncertainty. And every single time life gets hard, you train your brain to run. That's the pattern. Stress equals escape, and eventually your brain wires itself to crave porn anytime discomfort appears. That's why many men relapse after hard work days, arguments, financial stress, rejection, loneliness, and boredom. It's not because they're horny, it's because they're emotionally undisciplined. And listen, the goal is not removing porn. The goal is becoming a man who can handle reality. A man that can sit with discomfort, handle pressure, process emotions, face life directly. That's where real recovery requires replacement. You need new ways to regulate yourself. Things like training, prayer, brotherhood, journal, walking, reading, fasting, purpose, hard conversations, sometimes even discipline. Not escape, because every time you choose discomfort over escape, you build more self-respect. The fifth man that stays addicted forever is the guy who hides behind the high sex drive excuse. This man says, I'm just a man. I have needs. I've always had a high sex drive. This is biological. No, what most men call a high sex drive today is dopamine dysregulation. It's overstimulation. It's novelty addiction. It's a brain that has been conditioned by endless artificial stimulation. Because healthy masculine energy creates discipline, not chaos. Real masculine energy creates purpose, drive, leadership, focus, mission, not a compulsive behavior. And one of the biggest lies in modern culture is teaching men that masculinity means indulging every impulse. That's not masculinity, that's weakness. A high sex drive without discipline is dangerous, because masculinity is not measured by how much desire you have, it's measured by what controls you. The strongest men in history practiced restraint, discipline, control. They channeled energy into building kingdoms, leading families, creating purpose, protecting other people, not sitting behind screens consuming artificial stimulation. When a man finally learns to redirect that energy, everything changes. His focus changes, his confidence changes, his ambitions change, his discipline changes. Because sexual energy is powerful, but undisciplined sexual energy becomes self-destruction. Now, finally, the sixth man who stays addicted forever is the man that has lost hope. This is the guy that says, I'll never change. I've been like this too long. I always relapse. I don't deserve freedom. God has probably given up on me already anyways. This is one of the most dangerous, because shame eventually becomes identity. And once a man identifies as broken, he stops fighting. A lot of men listening and watching right now have been struggling since childhood. Some of you were exposed at 10, 11, 12 years old. And after years of relapse, secrecy, shame, and failure, you stop believing that transformation is possible. And here's what happens. Self-hatred fuels addiction. Because when a man believes he's already broken, he acts like a broken man. That's why shame is so dangerous, because shame says, this isn't something I struggle with. Shame says, this is just who I am. And I need the men listening right now to hear me clearly. You are not disqualified from becoming a different man. Your past may explain who you became, but it doesn't decide who you can become. Freedom starts the moment you stop identifying as broken and listen. I know what it feels like to hate yourself after another relapse. I know what it feels like to feel numb, defeated, and hopeless. But I also know what happens when a man finally decides, I refuse to stay this person. That decision can change everything. Now, let me show you what happens when a man finally decides to rebuild himself. Because freedom is possible. And I've watched thousands of men experience this, but it doesn't happen overnight. It happens through an identity transformation. The first month is detox and awareness. This is where men start waking up. He begins seeing triggers clearly, patterns clearly, emotions clearly. And the first time in years, he stops living on autopilot. The urges may spike at first, emotions may surface, discomfort may increase. But this is just the beginning of healing because now you're finally facing reality instead of escaping it. By now, you get into month 2. This is where self-respect starts returning. This is where men begin rebuilding trust with himself. Maybe start waking up early, training consistently, keeping promises, praying on the regular, journaling, building awareness, building routines, showing up for yourself. And little by little, you start becoming someone different. You're not perfect yet, but you're different. And by month 3, something powerful will happen. Porn stops becoming the center of your life. You're no longer obsessed with resisting it because now you have purpose, direction, clarity, brotherhood, discipline, and a mission to live for. Your confidence has increased. Your energy is going up. Your emotional control now is improving. But here's the key. The goal is not becoming a man who constantly resists porn. The goal is to become a man who no longer needs it. And that shift, that's the identity transformation that we always talk about. And every single person listening right now to this episode has a choice. You can continue protecting the identity that's keeping you addicted, or you can become someone new. Because eventually every man becomes the result of the story he keeps repeating. So the question is, what story are you telling yourself? Now, if the episode today here hit you hard, good, because awareness is the beginning of rebuilding. The truth is most men never break free because they never get a framework. And that's exactly why I wrote and created The Porn-Free Man. This book will walk you through the exact system that we've helped thousands of men use to rebuild their lives. Inside the book, I break down identity transformation, the steps to rewiring your brain, how to rebuild discipline, how to restore self-respect, how to create purpose in your life, and how to become the man that you were created to be. This is not just motivation. This is a blueprint for transformation and creating a life of freedom. So if you're serious about that, serious about walking in freedom, grab a copy today. Visit therebuiltman.com/porn-free or click the link down there in the show notes below. But remember, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your identity. Today is your opportunity to become a rebuilt man. Grab the Porn-Free Man at therebuiltman.com/porn-free or click the link down there in the show notes below. And brother, we look forward to seeing you on the inside.